This chart compares the annual film output of the world's major entertainment hubs. While Hollywood releases around 600 films a year, the Nigerian film industry, known as Nollywood, produces an estimated 2,500. Creating that volume of media typically requires massive physical infrastructure, yet Nigeria achieved this output without a single major studio lot or $100 million production budget. In 1990s Nigeria, importing 35mm celluloid film was economically unviable for most creators. At the same time, local commercial banks could not value intellectual property, and they routinely refused to issue loans for film productions. Traditional filmmaking pathways were completely walled off. To get their stories on screen, Nigerian creators had to bypass the established cinematic system entirely. In 1992, a businessman named Kenneth Nebue was sitting on a massive surplus of imported Taiwanese VHS tapes. He needed a reason for consumers to buy them. He partnered with local creators to fund a thriller called Living in Bondage. They shot it entirely on a standard consumer camcorder and skipped the cinema. The movie went straight to those blank VHS tapes. Without traditional theaters, the distribution network became the sprawling, open-air electronics markets across Lagos. Filmmakers sold their tapes directly to consumers and local vendors out of the back of trucks. A grassroots workaround to sell excess inventory effectively democratized production, turning cheap consumer hardware into the foundation of a new media economy. Today, the industry produces thousands of feature lengths a year, but the physical environment still strictly dictates how they are made. The national power grid is notoriously erratic. To guarantee electricity, film sets must run entirely on heavy, portable diesel generators. Those generators are incredibly loud. Their constant mechanical hum bleeds into the microphones, ruining the live audio takes. This forces directors to rely on automated dialogue replacement, or ADR, bringing actors into a studio weeks later to re-record their lines from scratch. Nigeria also lacks massive purpose-built sound stages. Crews have to rent residential homes or commercial event spaces, constantly adapting lighting and camera movements to whatever spatial limitations those rooms impose. Buying industrial amounts of diesel and re-recording entire scripts inflates daily budgets. The operational pipeline required to shoot a film here is uniquely punishing. As the industry shifted from physical VHS tapes to digital files, it exposed a new vulnerability: massive intellectual property theft through unregulated streaming sites and encrypted messaging apps. Looking at this visualization of potential revenue, an estimated 40% drains out to illegal piracy networks. To plug that drain, distributors deploy advanced artificial intelligence. These systems continuously scan the internet, executing real-time takedowns and blocking illicit links to protect box office returns. Securing the product makes the industry viable for outside capital. Global streaming platforms are now injecting tens of millions of dollars directly into the ecosystem, finally providing the financing that domestic banks historically withheld. Nollywood continues to scale by engineering private technological and financial networks rather than waiting for state infrastructure to catch up. That ability to scale has pushed the modern Nollywood market valuation to roughly $6.4 billion. It operates as Nigeria's second-largest employer, sustaining an interconnected workforce of over 1 million directors, grips, makeup artists, and editors. Highly produced local features, driven by premium star power, now regularly cross the billion naira mark at the domestic box office. They consistently outsell imported Hollywood films. A market born out of a desperate need to sell blank videotapes is now a stabilized, formal asset class, driving national economic growth. But capturing a global audience creates a deep tension. Creators have to balance the demands of international streaming algorithms with the need to preserve their indigenous authenticity. To navigate this, filmmakers utilize code switching. Actors fluidly blend English, the country's official lingua franca, with Nigerian pidgin and indigenous languages, ensuring the films remain accessible abroad without losing their local sonic identity. By exporting these complex, modern narratives at scale, Nigerian creators are actively overwriting outdated external portrayals of the African continent. Nollywood proves that when the traditional pathways to production do not exist, storytellers will simply build their own infrastructure to force the world to watch.